So this is Gears of War. This game's been around since 2006, but only recently has become kind of a bit of a speedrunning little gem that we found. I like to call it our little gem. This game and Gears of War 2 are notable for their brokenness. I guess this game's a lot less broken than Gears of War 2. There's a lot more interesting things that we found in Gears of War 2 than this game. Unfortunately, a lot of it isn't useful in the speedrun, but oh boy, it's fun to have the game crash on you. It's Gears of War 2 in a nutshell. The game crashes a lot. Gears of War 1, this game, is a little bit older, and so it doesn't crash quite as often because the hardware, it was like new on the console that it came out with the hardware, so the bugs are obviously found relatively early on, and crashing wasn't around back then because the console wasn't kind of pushed to its limits back in the day, and so they were given a little bit more lee room in what they could and couldn't do. So this game crashes really rarely, but Gears of War 2 I've had crash a few times, maybe about 4 or 5-ish. This game does have a couple soft locks, but they're not extremely relevant. Honestly, this is probably one of the most marathon-safe speedruns out there. Actually fine. We have a lot of enjoyment with running this game, the people that do run it. We have about 4 or 5 members that are constantly running at the minute in some way, form or another in this series, so that's not ideally how you want that fight to go. You want the grenade to take out one of them, but you know, I'm kind of sick and tired of resetting all the time. And that wasn't too bad overall. That's a fight there that I'm talking about, which is the only consistent soft lock in this game. Gears of War 3 has about 4 or 5 random interesting things that can happen at the start of it. In comparison to these type of games, we compare the series a lot because they don't change the fundamentals and the core combat system much. And you know, if you're good at one Gears of War game, you can be pretty comfortable in saying that you can be good at nearly all of them based on those facts. And that's kind of why the any percent categories for 1 to 3 are kind of all taken over by myself and Flurby. We have the top 2 times, or at least out of the games that we do run and the categories that we do run. That's 2 of the, without a doubt, the best Gears of War runners at the minute. And unfortunately, Flurby can't make it. He lives in Virginia, but he's got a friend's wedding for SGDQ. So unfortunately, we won't have him on board, but I'm going to fly my way all the way over from Melbourne to come visit. I live kind of in Victoria, Australia, which is a very, very beautiful place where I live. Very beautiful. I ride my bike around the area and just absolutely stunned by just how beautiful it is and how much, you know, you go up to the top of the hills at the top and you just look down and you can see 25 kilometers around. Absolutely amazing. Kind of getting off topic. It's just absolutely awesome where I live. That's the start of Gears of War. That's the tutorial. Getting back onto Gears of War. I do kind of get sidetracked a little bit and start talking about other things sometimes. It's a bit of a bad habit of mine, but you know, do with what you will. So this fight here actually has a skip in it. Not too much to talk about in the tutorial outside of the courtyard trick that we do. Lord. That guy should die. That's good for us. Yeah, you can run through those gates if you're fast enough there. And by doing so, if you're fast enough getting through there, you skip a 20-second long cutscene. That's why I intentionally had that fight go that way. Though honestly, that's not how the fight normally goes. It was a little bit off on how the AI normally acts there. Okay, this fight's also being awkward and strange. Oh, we got through it, alright. So yeah, this game's notorious for its gore, but you can just turn it off in the settings and, you know, the game kind of looks like this. Essentially. It's good.
We have visual
because it makes the game more marathon accessible.
Roger that, Delta. Keep looking.
There's some really screwed up things that I could talk about, kind of, but I'm not going to for this particular run. But things that getting in depth into the lore about berserkers and the whatnot, you know, the game. But the architecture is something that we can talk about in this game, so very notable right here in this particular building. I'm gonna wait to throw that grenade. The last few times I've thrown that a little bit too early, and I haven't shut the emergence hole there. Grenades shut these emergence holes, which can spawn 3-8 enemies. Yeah, the architecture is all based on European places. This is a very, very beautiful part of the game. It's actually one of the most beautiful parts of this game.
That's not Rojas down there. This little boy just turned 2 last week.
Just great. So cutscenes in this game, for the majority, are all skippable, which does save a fair amount of time. So most of the time, we're just fighting enemies. There are only a few runners in this game that are competitive at the highest time. Something just moved outside my window, and I turned my eyes there for 1 second. That's why I paused. Well, this is not good. That's not how we normally go through there, but I had to improvise based on where I saw one of the enemies go. There we go. So this fight's another fight that's changed recently in how we route the grenades. When I was learning the all collectibles run, I ended up remembering that there were grenades all the way back there, all the way back in the day. And I was like, well, what if we just grab those grenades instead of grabbing the grenades at the start of the game? And that's what we do now. At least that's what I do now. Other runners do different things. There's actually invisible wall right here. Shoutouts to the ragdoll effect because of the Nurgle. When you turn Gore off, enemies just ragdoll around a little bit, and it does look quite hilarious. It's actually a decent pace, despite the fact that it probably would have reset if this was like me trying to hardcore get PB. But I'm kind of resetting too many times, and it's not too terrible of a time, to be honest. I didn't set the manipulation up here right, so I'm gonna die. That's okay. It's a pretty short death, and that's one of the risky parts, and I'm a little bit over resetting, so just go back here. There's a checkpoint right here. Which makes this game a fairly safe marathon run because of all the checkpoints that are scattered through. Some of them are in really bad places, notably the refinery fight one. One of the more difficult fights. Dying there costs a couple minutes. At PAX, I sent myself a 2:10 time prior because my PB was, for an estimate, my PB was a little bit off pace when I initially submitted that, but then after I dropped my PB down about 10 minutes, just in practice, and I ended up getting a 202, which isn't that bad. This fight here, the AIs can really be kind of like your job in League of Legends and help. They almost help too, because that guy was really, really low on HP. If they kill that guy down there, it's really bad, because 3 of those 4 enemies will trigger this emergence hole here to spawn.
Someone get on that troika. Good job, man. Now let's go find that resonator. Move out.
So if you're fast enough there on plugging up that emergence hole, you can actually skip the dialogue, someone get on that troika, but we weren't fast enough. That's alright. Standing at this door here, we can just skip that enemy. Now there's a frame perfect skip here. We didn't get it.
Control, this is
That's
Delta
unfortunate.
Squad. Any word from Alpha?
Negative, Delta. We still have radio silence. Over.
Roger that. Dom, Phoenix, you'll look for a way in. Carmine and I will stay back and suppress. What about Alpha? We'll save him if we can.
It's about a 70% chance you hit that frame perfect skip because it's just a setup for it. All you gotta do is hold up and then spam A, and it's almost free. Almost. You know, it wasn't consistent. So cover sliding's about as fast as roadie rolling in this game. It's actually a really broken mechanic that we can abuse. It also enables us to avoid damage incoming, which is great. This fight changes between... This is actually the very first moment where this game changes significantly between any percent or collectible. You're going to watch the any percent VOD versus collectible VOD, then realize that we can also just damage this guy here a little bit. And then by doing so, that's a lot of damage. And by doing so, we should be able to skip an enemy at the end of this fight. Hey, we did it. Come on. There we go, good. Cool, good. So, I actually still do not know the trigger for that cutscene. I'm pretty sure Flurby knows it, but he still thinks it's inconsistent. I think he said, like, he still thinks that's super inconsistent, that trigger. But it will happen eventually. Everything will be good. So this fight here is one of the very few fights that I've actually got in my head that needs a little bit of rerouting, but for the sake of this run, I'm not going to do it during this run, because it would require routing other things. Nice, my AI's actually got a kill there, which is good to see. There's only 2 AIs left now. We did have 3, we just lost one of them in that cutscene. Very, very famously and jerked around a bit. Carmine is a bit of a jerk in the community. Most notably after Gears of War 4. Not Gears of War 4, Gears of War 2. Gears of War 4 is the newest Gears of War game. Gears of War 2. He dies in Gears of War 4 as well, which is one of the other jokes about it. Another Carmine guy dies, and it's always the joke that Carmine always dies. But he doesn't die, interestingly enough. Spoilers, in Gears of War 3. There are basically him and his brothers. They're a bit accident prone, essentially. That guy, Anthony, cannot for some reason get his gun to stop jamming. So this guy here's Cole. We get him shortly after we lose Carmine. And this actually, this fight here has an interesting new strat, which I love. Hopefully we can get it. Cool, good, we got it. So if you can get that tooltip checkpoint done, Cole can do something interesting here. Or this enemy can spawn in an interesting place. One of the two could happen. We didn't get either. Oh, nice, Cole still finished it off, so... See, doing that save time, and it actually doesn't lose time to set up that particular trick. So it actually kind of worked there, but there are some other things that can happen which are a lot faster. Like Cole can just go chainsaw the enemy, which is really, really good. But you need the grenades at the end of that fight too, so... Oh nice, my little ammo magazine thing is just spinning off to the side. Flip magazine, whatever. Ammo. Little ammo box that's lying around, empty ammo box. We just dropped off to the side there, just got caught in the wall and started spinning. So we're doing a little bit of AI manipulation right here, which is why I'm looking in different parts and standing over here. Dom, please. There we go. Sometimes Dom likes to get stuck there at that door a little bit. We did it. Nice minute. So Dom's the actual checkpoint trigger for that particular part. There's going to be a little bit of a volume warning right here. The enemy here is going to screech at us, and he's really, really loud. So before the new kind of wave, I guess we can call this, of Gears runners got involved, Gears of War 2 and 3 weren't speedruns at all. They were 4-hour runs, and they weren't even that kind of good as runs. There were lots of deaths, like people did not optimize them at all, and now since we've kind of gone through and optimized them, and we found some new tricks and skips and some interesting things. Also, shoutouts to spawning killing enemies, because why not? The guy right behind us. There we go. Nice. That's the last fight. We actually used the Locust SMG, and I didn't mention the guns that we're using, but this weapon that we've got is the Locust SMG. It shoots 6 shots at once, which makes it ridiculously good versus Wretches, because it essentially can kill them in one burst, which is the main reason that we use it. It's also slightly longer range and a little bit more consistent in shot than the Lancer, and that's the only benefits that it has over the Lancer. The Lancer has faster kill times, so we use it the majority of the start of this run. This weapon that we got now is the Hammer of Dawn, and you're about to see why we're going to be using this for the next short while. And we're going to be using it later on as well. It's got the ability to shut emergence holes. It also has... I love this dialogue. Don't use them until I give the order. We are absolutely listening to you. So funny enough, Marcus was put in jail. The reason that we start in jail is Marcus starts this game in jail because he disobeyed orders. So we just disobeyed orders again. So we clearly didn't learn from our mistake prior. So the reason that I'm playing with Kim there is because he's got to go and open the door, and I'm trying to get him off the cover and getting closer to the door. Bit unfortunate where he went. Sometimes he'll just stand by the door and open it for you. Nice, got that emergence hole there. That looks really, really clean, but it's quite easy to do. It looks clean, but easy. Every time. So Kim here's got to get on this little wheel. This is one of the moments where the developers got a little bit oversighted on this game. And they forgot to animate this wheel moving. They also forgot to animate Kim's face, and it just looks absolutely hilarious. There's another part later on that I'll pinpoint where the developers forgot animations. There's only 2 moments in this game that we've actually found where animations get quite messed up, and that's one of them. And that one's really, really obvious. The other ones may or may not happen. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on where the guy wants to go. You can do different things, different patterns. It's not nearly as noticeable.
We should use the Hammer of Dawn all the time.
We should use the Hammer of Dawn all the time.
And even then, only when the satellites
Wish we could.
Basically, you lucked out.
So I try to get Kim to warp, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Oh, there he goes, finally. So he normally warps a lot sooner than that, but I guess that's okay. Sometimes he won't warp and you can lose 30 seconds there. Because he won't warp. There's also another warp that we're coming up on. Also, kind of the first of the 2 major skips in this game. Second biggest skip in the game. Trying to line this up perfectly. There we go. Perfect. So the longer that it takes you to do that in that setup, the more chance you have of dying. Yukai himself was perfect on all skips in this run when he first did it. Which is really, really impressive. That saves about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes of time. It skips that entire fight up there, which is really, really good. It's fairly easy to do. Kind of one of those things where blink and you miss it. But I took some time there with that setup, so... There you go. Ooh, so that's what we want. What you didn't see, you might not have seen. This guy here just warped in. And he's the trigger for the dialogue here. We need that dialogue to play. Gotta come back here and get this guy because he's the next trigger. Come on, Kim. The game's really confused right now. It's giving us double dialogues. So there we go. We moved Kim towards the door. We did it. This fight here. What is that sound effect? So this fight right here. That's not in a good spot. He would have actually killed me then. That Nemesis there can be a problem. The safety strat is just to get it out of your way. These guys down here are Cedars. I kind of didn't mention it. The reason that we're getting rid of them is because they're jamming our comms. The game's about to get really, really funny here. Yeah, we got all 3 of them. We did a great job killing that second one. Woo! I love it. I love mentioning that every time. The dialogue right there gets really, really confused because it plays the dialogue it's meant to play there. Instead of forgetting the fact that we totally left the second one alive. Yeah, we're totally loud and clear. They didn't. There's no more Cedars left. We didn't leave one alive at all.
News, Delta. Stand by.
Bit of sarcasm right there for sure, but there's nothing else to do here. So this guy talking's bad, interesting enough. This is the first time we hear him. And he's the 4th major member of Delta Squad. So the major members of Delta Squad are Marcus Cole, Dom, and Bad. And that means Kim's gonna be taken out.
We'll take them out.
in a short while. Kind of spoiling it here, but Kim's not as mainstay in the series.
Find those Troikans.
So Cole and Dom were the two guys that were just next to me. Kim's the bold guy who unfortunately is about to meet his end. He's going to run into the final boss of the game. It happens in a cutscene, so we never really see it. Happens after we save Alpha Squad up here.
We have visuals on your location.
We'd like to have your ammo on our location right now.
And a nice little roll off to the side here. This hasn't been a terrible run. It hasn't been fantastic, but it hasn't been terrible in terms of my personal best tracking. Okay, good. We didn't get stunned. That's alright. I think I dodged that melee anyway. He just hit the wall. Gave the sound effect that it hit me. He hit the wall. Pretty sure. So this is a safety strat here. There's a skip around this Troika where you can run straight through it, but it's too inconsistent. I'll try it at my run. I'm sure that I'll figure out a way to make it at least halfway consistent. This wretch is following me quite a large margin. Gonna get rid of that guy. So if you don't kill that guy, that dialogue there, wretches and man, that trigger actually will happen as a cutscene will start playing, and it's really, really funny. But we killed him there, so there's an Easter egg around here somewhere as well, but we're not gonna bother to find it. It's one of the developers' faces on a painting, I think, or something like that. I know where it is. It's the other way. Back there, but I don't know what it is. It's like some kind of, it's something on a painting, I'm pretty sure. So rolling into that cutscene, I probably won't submit that as like anything either, because it's not that interesting. If Gears of War 2, I'll have a kind of an Easter egg as a submission, because it's a little bit more noticeable and a little bit more funny. I'm gonna get rid of that guy because we need him out of the way. So the best thing you can get here is a 6 enemy down. Well, this isn't good. I think this is good. Shoot off to this side. It just really depends. I think that I shot and killed that. I've actually never done that without Gorov, and that was really, really difficult. Okay, good, we got through it all. I had to keep a good mental track there of how many enemies that I killed. It was quite important. Time's actually not too bad, despite the fact that it has a death in it. So that's the cutscene that I'm talking about, the place where the dialogue happens, and then we lose Kim. And now we've regrouped with Bad, so now all the Delta squad's together. Kim runs into the final boss in this game, and needless to say, the final boss of this game is actually cool. We have a nickname for him, Batman, because one of the other villains is kind of a giant spider. One of the other boss fights, so we got Batman and Spider-Man, and this is one of the other boss fights in the game. And this isn't actually the boss, Dom's the boss here. We got the little bit of a run glitch. Okay, that's fine. Gotta be a little bit careful here. Oh, I did a roll animation, but it just cancelled. I'm gonna lead her all the way into here. Good.
Fire in the hole.
So Dom being down here is actually ideal. Wow, that was really loud. So there is an audio bug in this game. I haven't really mentioned it, but sometimes the game will just go back to default values for no reason. Certain sound effects and music. Okay, good, we got rid of that checkpoint notification, which actually changes as Berserkers. We're not gonna lead her through here because she's faster coming through this door. Come on. Get it. She's stuck on the wall. There we go. Okay, good, she ran through all these pillars, which is actually ideal. She normally only gets stuck on 2 pillars. Dom's just gonna warp in here. Hopefully she doesn't get unstunned here. Okay, good. She did the good animation that I wanted her to do. Good. And that's the end of the first act. That part there is also really, really tough. This is the hardest Berserker in the game to deal with. Wow, we're actually ahead of PB pace with a death. That is quite interesting. That was a very good run. Outside of that, we got some good warps, which is mainly what saved a lot of time. I don't think I got a good call warp on my PB at all. I also think I has a def in there. So this act actually adds in another mechanic.
Hammer of Dawn is offline.
Perfect.
So we're not going to be using the Hammer of Dawn much anymore, in case you didn't listen to the dialogue there. The Hammer of Dawn is that big laser thing that comes from the sky. We can't use it anymore because the Hammer of Dawn is now offline. It's no longer accessible. There are quite a large number of parts in this game where you cannot use the Hammer of Dawn. Once again, we use the left option. This is the third left option of the game, because we got Fork in the Road in the initial tutorial one. And the reason that we use this one is because there's going to be some enemies up ahead, and we need their guns. The guns are going to replace our Hammer of Dawn. So good, we're in here. We actually had to wait for Bed to get in here.
See if you can find
There's grenades at the back here that we're about to use immediately.
Copy that.
Because we're going to use them on these enemies. They're quite tanky. Whenever the cutscene wants to play, there it is. Yeah, that mouse gets squashed. Spoilers, he gets a little bit squashed by these guys. Oh, okay. I just missed both those grenades then. Yeah, I just did a ridiculous amount of damage then.
Sweet.
Okay, cool. 3. It should be 3 as well, unfortunately. That's the lowest amount of ammo you can get, which is not good. We're going to need to be perfect on our shots from here on out in order to make good use of that. And we're going to want at least a 4 drop on our next boom shot. That'll give us a +2 advantage
Shit. You think I'm
back, so...
I think you're batshit crazy.
There's a bit of swearing here, unfortunately.
Oh, ain't that
The dialogue's quite hilarious still.
Like two assholes on the first date.
There's some dialogue later on that actually doesn't have any swearing that I just love. I think the individual line is, "We're not here to sell cookies," so they know something's up. Those enemies here are going to be a little bit interesting. Good, that's really, really quick. Ooh. A little bit of frame drop right there, which is why that screen just got really interesting. This isn't ideal. It's both those shots. Okay. I don't want to be here. Oh. Immediately take a shot as soon as I start healing. This is far from ideal. I've actually had quite a few problems with this particular fight. Yes, I just reloaded a full weapon on. There's reload bugs in here as well. Oh, it's over near Bed. Right here. There we go. It was stuck on Bed.
Copy that.
There we go. That fight did not go according to plan at all.
We gotta get out of here, man. You got a plan? Let's hear it.
The actual way that you do that fight is the 2 Lancer enemies come running at you at the start. And you kill both of them with the shotgun, and then you go in and then you kill the wretch jumping over the wall, and then you go and kill the 2 guys out the back and then finish off the last wretch, and that's all the enemies in that fight.
I don't hang out, dickwad. I'm looking for something.
So there's actually a little bit of future references right here. He's looking for his wife, for those who have followed around this game a little bit. His wife is in one of the best cutscenes in Gears of War 2. Which is also an Easter egg in Gears of War 4 on Insane. Yeah, you can activate kind of like this reference to the cutscene in Gears of War 4. That was a really good set of boom shots right there. Like I said, that was the enemy that I needed to kill with the 2 shots. Nice placement for this. I probably should have just rolled at that or something. Okay, good. That guy was actually a threat, so we just got the reload bug again. Why not? Oh, we got hit by both those snipers at the same time. That's not good. That could have killed us. You know, casual didn't avoid you from dying. Unless you get headshotted by these guys, which can happen. They just headshot you, you just die. I'm actually not on that cover. Okay, if he had a melee this, we would have died though, but he didn't. Okay, that fight's a little bit scary. That's one of the scariest fights in the game. So I was a little bit more concentrative on that. Nice couple wretches to deal with here. We're gonna ignore them. I know there hasn't been too many like skips at the minute, but we're about to completely skip past one of the hardest fights casually. I'm so glad this is like the speedrun strat for this fight, because this fight is terrifying. Not over yet, Baird. You better reload. Why? That's why. We just skipped a whole bunch of dialogue because it's so fast through here. We're not meant to be this quick through here. Nice, there we go. I love the ragdoll effects when you plug up an emergence, all those enemies are coming out of it with no-go. I actually might run no-go now for that reason. It's literally hilarious. I never knew that existed. I should learn something new every day. I guess it is true, you really do learn something new every day.
Same old shit. Franklin here? Yeah.
Yes, fight for freedom.
Usual spot.
Alright. We're just waiting for this dialogue here and this guy to open up this door for us. One of the AIs here is going to ragdoll. It's going to be really, really funny. A bit of swearing here, unfortunately. It's a little bit too much swearing in this game for my liking, still. Gears of War 2, turn it off. Gears of War 3, turn it off. Yeah, there's parts here. Quite a large amount of vulgar language. So why not? Gears of War. I mean, it says you can turn it off, but you really can't. Oh yeah, this guy's still on rats. You want to need some rats? There's some bad rats. Because why not, when you're left all alone from society? Why not try to sell whatever you want? So Outpost, the hardest chapter of the game. There's not much to talk about there, so it's kind of just dragging on. Outpost is the hardest chapter in this entire game. It's the hardest chapter probably in any video game of all time ever. No arguments. Anyone who says otherwise is a scrub. Absolute scrub lord. And they need to check their video game playing privileges.
It's getting late.
There we go, done, good. No, that Outpost there. Pretty monk-ass. Nice, where's the shotgunner at? Oh, Dom's like right behind me. I didn't know where he was exactly. Even though the icon in TACCOM tells me. So this is the first time we're actually using this. Regroup. Dom's stuck. Stop. Where's Dom stuck? Dom. Okay, we're gonna go kill this sniper actually. Oh. The AIs are being really, really weird here. This has never happened before. I guess we do have to kill those guys though. I got away with not killing one of those guys before. Okay, we do need to kill it. We do need to kill at least a sniper though. Okay, cool. Once again, you learn something new every game. You run through this, and that's one of the things that I just learned. So you do need to kill the sniper though. It's all good. Most annoying cutscene to skip in the game. Okay, good. So the reason that I say that is X button is skipping cutscenes, and it also gets you off this wheel. So if you press X twice accidentally there, the game will remove you off this wheel, and you'll have to press X again. And it's the dumbest way to lose time in any run. It is the most annoying cutscene in any video game. I actually don't know of any other more annoying cutscenes ever.
Checkpoint 1 should be straight ahead.
How's it going, Baird?
Oh, it's bullshit. Somebody
Unfortunately, yeah, we can't turn language off here.
now it's all.
But we do skip a large amount of dialogue in this act,
Play again.
which is great.
Hey, number 83, sign my shade. Where the hell are you guys?
We're working on it.
So there's going to be a couple guys here that are about to be attacked by the Krill. And they kind of got introduced in that cutscene but they got to introduce them a second time. I mean, that guy has permission to swear in my books he's about to die. Oh, we're about to do a little trick here. We don't want to look at it because we need to actually get to this door as quick as possible. Because we want to be standing at this door to kick it as soon as this dialogue finishes. Oh, we didn't do it. It's unfortunate. If you change weapons whilst kicking open that door at the exact same time, you'll skip the animation for swapping the weapons. The cover system in this game is absolutely fantastic. This is one of the things that has actually changed since the SGQ 2012 run, where we no longer kill that wretch, we no longer have to worry about the dialogue there that plays. We just skip it. Oh, that's unlucky. So we're going to do it anyway, because we got killed by the Krill. You can make this, and we're going to keep doing it till we do. It's actually faster to... It's still faster if you fail this once. Oh, that's... You actually, thankfully, have a little bit of cover with light here. I have to shoot this, which opens up the door here. There's an enemy here. I don't know where he's going. I think he's all the way back here. There he is. That's a headshot too. Very satisfying to hear the headshot pop sound when you have Goron in this game. It still plays the headshot pop sound in Gears of War 2 with Goroth, I'm pretty sure. Like, there were a lot of oversight things in this game that got fixed.
Copy that. Are they aware?
Unfortunately, we can't cancel this like forced dialogue out. Well, we're gonna use the pistol here because we're just gonna run past this fight because once you fight, and you just run past them. I need to reset my line here. Kind of important that I don't run straight into the dark sections of this map because Krill will kill you if you're not in the light. I didn't mention how they work, but you kind of got the hint before that if you run through sections that are not in the light, also the dialogue. There's a way to skip this as well. I've mentioned it, but there's a way to skip this part. It's one of the other It's the other risky skip in this game that I don't do.
Marcus, get me over to that building. Cover me!
Alright, we're gonna do, once again, we're gonna use the TACCOM abuse here of Dom's AI control, but we're not gonna do it immediately because it may make Dom do some interesting patterns that we don't want him to do. There we go, beautiful. Worked first time. Dom's AI was behaving himself there. So yeah, if you do cancel fire and then attack as he starts shooting there. If you keep shooting, you just keep doing it until he starts running forward. But it saves about a good 3 to 4 seconds of waiting for Dom to stop shooting the enemies. Then he will just go and press this on. And sometimes he can die in this cutscene too. But he didn't. There he is in the cutscene. Hey Dom. In-game cutscenes for the win. Dom does weird things when the camera's on him. I'm actually gonna try to avoid killing all these guys now. Okay, good. We just got in that light then. So what you can hear all the screeching sounds. There's a crow coming for me. They're giant bat-like things. You'll see them up close and personal way later on in the game. So what you just heard there with the dialogue happening was actually 2 dialogues coming in at once now, so this is going to get really interesting. This guy talking to us now, he's he's controlling the lights with Jack, our little robot. You saw a little bit earlier on. You'll see him later on again. Basically opens up doors and gives you path. I just got a message on my phone. This is annoying. I can check that in a little bit. I can check that in a little bit because there's an unskippable cutscene coming up. One of the very few in this game. I think there's only 2 to 3 unskippable cutscenes outside of the Wretch Screams. Okay. So we got to our goal, which was to get to here, which is Chap's gas station. So let's see if we get this animation. Yeah! Sliding! I don't think anyone uses the terminology nincompoops anymore.
Where's the junker? I didn't think you guys were gonna make it, so I didn't fill his up. I figured it's your job. I'm so
So I was trying. I went a little bit too late there, but if you listen to the dialogue when he says, "I didn't fill it up," you can get on that immediately then. But yeah, this guy's you know, your angry old man. Because every game has to have a stereotypical angry old man. He's not around for long in this game. He actually is one of the very few that doesn't die after he disappears. I was waiting for him to shoot because, as you know, when I'm reloading my boom shot, I reload faster because I've got the good reload. Caps is going to get really annoyed at us if we keep shooting the vehicle. Oh wow, these guys spawn in really, really quickly. That's not good. Okay, Dom's in the krill. Another guy all the way back here. That was an interesting fight, but surviving it's the important part.
control. We've got the vehicle.
So whilst this dialogue's happening, I'm going to grab this ammo and then I have an unskippable cutscene.
Hurry, Marcus. Locust and Krill have launched a full-scale attack on their position.
Shit. Get in.
We're just waiting for this dialogue to play. This cutscene to play. Yeah, Chaps uses some really old insults. Really old insults. Probably one of the few moments where gore still exists in this game. Well, we don't want that. I accidentally pressed X at the start here. Which is not what you want to do. Okay, good. So the actual boss fight in this section, I guess you could say, is when you get those messages there, making sure that you release your hand off the right trigger, because if you don't, you'll be locked out of the movement and you'll take damage by the krill, and you do not want to take damage by the krill. So the actual, excuse me, the actual mechanic in this game, sorry, the actual mechanic in this game is you're meant to use the UV turret like I did at the very start. The only time you'll ever see that. There you go, bonus points. Right, bonuses for this speedrun. Bit of a bonus. Oh, we got stuck on the wall. Interesting. You're meant to use the UV turret to essentially get rid of the krill out of the way, but they oversighted and then probably decided that's a little bit too hard, and now you can just do this path here and you can get through it without eating a whole lot of damage. You don't want to eat because the krill will slow you down. If you start eating damage from them, you're going to see it right here. We obviously just slowed down going up this hill. Not because of the hill, it's because we're being eaten by the krill. But still honest, normally they're gone by now. This is not good. I love the fact that there's actually blood splatter even though we turned the gore off in this part. Okay, these guys are... Wow, I've never had this happen before. Get off me, thank you. Holy. You might actually die. We might or might not. Oh god. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead now. Holy... Wow, that is the most legitimately nerve-wracking car section that I've ever had. Wow. I don't think I've ever been that close to dying before in that part. Whoa. Normally that goes just really smoothly. It's actually one of the easiest parts of the run. Normally absolutely nothing goes wrong there. You might eat a little bit of damage, but nothing relevant. Once again, the return of the boom shot. Now there's going to be 4 parts that appear in order. Thank you, Cole, for telling me which one's up first. Cole actually just helped out a lot. So all these random shots can actually hit you. You can just die here for no reason. Oh, so we got the 2 scripted kills here before we actually have to plug up double emergence holes. Oh, you need to get out of the way. You're in directly in my way. I'm waiting for this second emergence hole here to start to spawn. There you go. Wow, he hit me directly. Someone get aimbot on that guy. He's clearly cheating. He just 360 no scoped me. There's a lot of boomers in this section. Well, it should be noted, but we can scripted ways kill them. Oh nice, we got a headshot. Someone got a headshot, because Tordu said good shot. That's what he only says when somebody gets a headshot. You can actually get headshots with this machine gun. Where's this last guy at? Oh, he's all the way over there. Okay. There we go, that was interesting. I lost track of how many enemies I had. I thought there was still a few more left. But there's still like 3 to 4 more left. You 2 need to get out of my way. This is terrifying right now with you 2 in my way. Thank you. There's 2 guys there. Terrifyingly scary. So, I haven't mentioned this, but we actually run this game on the Xbox One version because it's faster. The 360 version, though, is still completely viable as a speedrun option tool. It's just slower. Better.
Burn, bitch! Almost had us that time. Let's move out.
There you go, and that's the end of this act. See, if I didn't die and I didn't have some sloppy fights there, I probably could have got a gold split.
Control.
We couldn't get the roll. That's unfortunate.
Vehicle is DO.
When you walk back there, you can actually roll. Like very similar. That's the second time we failed one of those. I think they're the only 2 in the game, unfortunately.
So you need to enter the mines through the factory. Continue down this road.
Affirmative. Let's go. Stupid junker. Piece of shit. Can you fix it?
Can you fix it?
Yeah, can fix anything, man. Just need the right parts.
So we're about to be introduced into a new enemy type because we haven't had a new enemy type in a while.
Control, we got what looks like glowing wretches out here.
Copy that. We've had reports of lifeless wretches before. Possibly due to the wreck and
They're just like regular wretches. They just explode when they're killed.
extremely volatile.
They break apart into small bits and pieces and then explode and they do damage. And the best part about that is we can actually abuse that, because then they'll start chain reactions with each other.
Did you see that? Yeah, I did. Kinda wish I hadn't.
There you go. So all collectibles here actually has an incredibly tough time doing this section, but in any percent it's really, really easy. Comparing the two different runs. There's a collectible here that is really out of our way. Go collect the only real hard collectible in this entire game to find, in my opinion. Oh, Dom's going for a walk, see you, Dom. I know.
Look, man, it's enemy territory. I mean, it's bad enough when we're fighting these things outside, in broad daylight. But underground, in the dark?
Yeah, could be bad. Hey, don't tell Baron that. He's scared shitless as it is.
Unfortunately, we got a fair amount of dialogue waiting here, about 5 minutes, because this section's like just kind of environment building.
So long. We've been here for at least 2 minutes. Well, good for you, smartass. Give us your location. The basement. It's a dump. Control.
So yeah, we're just waiting for this dialogue to end here.
Keep moving through the factory till you find the cart control room. I'll use the carts to get you to the mine.
Oh yeah, it also should be noted that coming up as well as an auto-scroller, the third act is easily the most boring act in the game, but it's also the one where the world record has... At least the former world record had a lot of time save. I can guarantee that he's probably well and truly outdone my time now. The new one. Oh, that's really unfortunate, because Dom was in our way. We unfortunately kicked that door. It's the time. AIs here can block you, and by AIs I mean Dom.
Hey, I think I got it. Yeah, Baird, you did.
Yeah, turn them off, will ya?
Huh? What? Never mind.
There we go. So this cutscene here is going to be cancelable in a second.
This is Delta One, still proceeding as planned, but we have a stranded with us. No shit. Hey, ask him if he's seen any geobots. I still need one for our junker. Hey, Bear, keep looking for that cart control room. Phoenix out.
So, we're on to waiting for this stranded to open the door for us. Now this is one of the very few sections where we know a soft lock exists here. We've encountered it before, but it's really rare. There's only ever been 2 encounters of this particular soft lock.
There's shit everywhere. Come on, Bear. A little bit of this, good for you. Builds your immune system.
That's true, Cole.
Yeah, it also builds.
That's also
disease.
true, Dad.
Delta 2 out. No way. Sucks to be them.
So yeah, basically the soft lock happens if these guys never spawn in, but they should spawn in now.
Hi, boys.
I can smell you two a mile away.
Screw you, man. Get down here and see how much you like it. There's room for one more. It's a party down here.
No thanks.
Keep moving. We'll see you at the carts.
Wow, why is that swear word removed? Okay. Okay.
Can we please just leave?
I guess, Goroth is faster than Goron.
If we stay here, they'll kill us for sure.
Only saves a little bit of time, though.
You gears all suck. Bunch of bloodthirsty fascists.
So I guess it does remove language. I didn't think that it did, but it does. There's an F word there.
Through here, we'll be all right.
There you go. So this block here can actually fall. We don't want that. Also, I should be mentioned that there are 3 paths through here. I know all 3 paths. Thankfully, 2 of them kind of are really similar. And that's the only there's only 2 blocks here that I actually can drop. And if this one here drops, it'll cost you 15 seconds. So we don't want this one here to drop. Let's see. Oh, it's going to drop. As I say that, oh, Dom's going to get in our way too. Bye, Dom. Dom's just standing off in air right now. He actually can't fall unless you fall.
Shit, it's gone.
Careful. We need to keep moving.
So yeah, that one there is scripted to always fall.
Your step.
Damn, I hate this place.
That Crimson Omen on the ground means there's a collectible nearby. That's how you know when you're close to collectibles. They can be scattered anywhere and everywhere. I know where they all are though. The collectibles on the other side of the board, just over where we were. That's unfortunate. We lost a little bit of time there because, you know, the game decided that we wanted to lose time there. Press this button and open it. So I've had some interesting things happen with this particular fight recently, so hopefully none of them happen here. It looks like it's gonna happen. Oh no, you can despawn it just by looking away. Okay. These wretches here are actually terrifying. Okay, good. Sometimes this door also won't open for 30 seconds if you're looking at it. Got a lot to do with where you're looking. Oh yeah, if you got language filter on, that's another F-bomb right there. It's F-bomb number, like, I don't know, 50 bajillion in this game. Classic. They don't really say the F-word too often. They say the S-word a lot more than the F-word. There we go, cool. We're waiting for that cutscene now, that's why I wasn't talking. So as soon as that cutscene happens, you just skip it, and now these doors will open for you. Saves you about 40 seconds. I'm making sure none of them are spawned over there. Okay, good. The other guy did spawn over there. So that's not ideal, but whatever. It's gonna happen every now and again. You don't often kill wretches here, so that one's a specialty for all you guys out there watching this run. This can still PB, this is on a pretty good run. So Jack, our little robot friend, is back. He's gonna open up this door for us, but whilst we're doing so, I have to deal with these guys. Now they're just gonna stand around and these doors are gonna open automatically. Kill that boomer first, they'll never open. Ooh, 5 shots. Very good RNG. 5 shots is the most you can get from a boomer. So yeah, unfortunately there's a bit of an auto-scroller coming out, which does give you a fair amount of time to do nothing.
Control, this is Delta. We're at the cart control room.
Copy that, Delta.
Everybody, grab some ammo.
Sorry, I was on my phone there for 2 seconds.
Man, you shitheads need to get in your own carts. No way am I standing next to you.
What? Let's just get this over with. Let's do this thing.
So the language filter works, it just doesn't get rid of all the language. That's nice to know. Good game. Good oversight by the developers. I do honestly think they run out of time when doing this game. Oh, one thing that I haven't mentioned, this game is actually on PC. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why are you submitting a console version of this game instead of the PC version, when PC is clearly far superior? Well, PC is a different category. Now, the reason for that is, I know you guys out there are going to be PC master racing it up. And saying console plebs, lol. Console's faster. Yeah. We don't have to do 3 chapters when we do the console. PC's only faster if you're playing Ultimate Edition. We're playing the original version. So console is faster, so... +1 for us console players.
You guys okay? Come on, baby. The train's at home on the rails.
Cole, please. Cole's dialogue there is pretty legendary. Cole's dialogue in general in this game is very, very well known. He's kind of that character that everyone loves. So there's 2 enemies over here, the most pointless 2 enemies in the game. When we're not even gonna bother dealing with them. Dom can. We're not gonna bother dealing with them. We just stand here and there's no way they can shoot us. Because we're in an auto-scroller, we're just gonna keep moving past them. They're not required kills. Later on, they got a little bit aware that you don't have to do anything really too much in this auto-scroller. So they realized that those enemies they were completely pointless to add into the game, and then they force you to kill enemies later on. Otherwise, they probably will kill you. Two wretches here, and then that's it. Done with this auto-scroller pretty much. Shoutouts to the dialogue here. I like this dialogue here. And that's gonna be funny if I get PB and Flavor gets world record on the same day on this game.
Checking tickets?
Checking tickets. Check your tickets. I don't know, I just like that.
Control, this is Delta. Do you read?
So there's kind of a semi-soft lock here, but there's an easy way to avoid it.
I copy. You're almost there. The drilling platforms are straight ahead.
So this lady I actually haven't mentioned talking to us, her name's Anya.
Yep.
She's actually a character that you get to run around with in the third game, but unfortunately she isn't really featured too much in this game. Which one's it gonna be? House. Call, please. So yeah, there's the PC port in this game actually had 3 additional chapters that were never around because the 360 version came out a year earlier over the PC version.
Control, this is Delta. We've entered the core room.
Stand by, Delta. I'm raising the platforms.
They're actually going to mention her name in a second. This is why I mentioned Anya in this game. She's going to get a name mentioned.
Can't get a target.
She's around in Gears 2 and 3 as well. Just concentrating here because I need to hit that first shot. I just whiffed that shot, the easier shot. I whiffed the second easy shot as well. Alright, you know what? Ow. I want to save some boom shot ammo.
That was fun. Remind me to thank Anya.
Everybody, get on your platform.
Okay, couple of unskippable cutscenes about to play out here. This one and then the next one. Shoutouts to the boomers still being stuck on this platform.
Sending
Look at it, it's just chilling.
Once you're in the mine, you'll need to
Like, draw me like one of your French girls.
plant that resonator. Get it done before dawn. We don't want to be there when the krill come back.
It's doing the Renekton taunt. League. Alright, and this is the other unskippable cutscene. Thankfully, the unskippable cutscenes, they're only about, I don't know, a minute and a half long. Total game time. The majority of them, the big ones. I don't consider the Wretch streams unskippable cutscenes
This krill shit.
part of the game.
Alright, I know.
Wow, I never heard that dialogue cut out before. So here's the start of the skip. In all collectibles, we're going to be doing this twice, but in any percent, we're only going to be doing it the second time that we'll do it in all collectibles the way that we're going to do it. Because there's a collectible that we skip past. We don't want to hit a checkpoint to grab him. So we want to get the boom shot in the collectible route, but in any percent. This is a major difference between the two categories too, by the way, is you have to do this skip twice. We're almost done with the setup. There we go. So we're actually out of bounds, clearly. We're gonna try to catch ourselves at a certain point. It's pretty precise. I think we're too early. I think, yeah, that was definitely too early. Let's see. Ooh, we got it though. It was early, but we got it. Okay. I'll take it. Walk along the left side of this wall here, intentionally despawning a bunch of wretches and more enemies to, so we only have to fight these 3. Good fight right there. I have a lot of problems with that. We're done now. If you die in that fight, you have to do the skip all over again. Now we're done with it. This is Spider-Man that I was talking about earlier on in this run. That's the big skip, and that skip saves legitimately about 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay. It's a large portion of gameplay. A lot of hard fights and just overall hard combat. Thank God it exists. There's gonna be another unskippable cutscene after this. This is the easiest boss fight in the world. Well, one of them. It's a little bit more difficult than some of the other boss fights. Shoutouts to the final boss in Gears of War 2. Oh, a little bit too early. I think it was a couple frames too early there. But that's alright. This corpse is gonna fall down into the emulsion. I haven't really mentioned much of the emulsion, but the Lambent Wretches have emulsion in them. It's back. But the emulsion's on your claws, so you can't hold on. Yeah.
Just in time.
Yeah, just in time to kiss my ass.
Man, I can't believe
This
we
dialogue.
missed this. Cole, you still got
So funny enough, because we did the skip, they actually never left outside, but they're just over there now.
5:15.
In the part that we skipped, they end up getting off course and splitting up options, and they go all over the place. Apparently down here, they find where the refinery is first because they come from this side. I'm just gonna keep running. Gonna roll. Gonna running. But yeah, I kind of haven't mentioned this, but this is the refinery fight. One that I was talking a little bit about earlier on. It's, in my opinion, the hardest individual fight in the game. It is an ammo reliancy and also weapon reliancy that we just make difficult in the speedrun.
There it is.
Okay, here's the plan. Dom,
So the reason that I rolled into this dialogue here is once again we get locked out of movement.
you two flank right and provide
Also, my favorite individual line of dialogue from any character is coming up in any Gears of War game.
Got it. You got it.
You hear that? How's that sound?
It's just the wind.
Yeah, right. When's the last time the wind said hostiles to you?
Does it to me all the time, Dom.
Those aren't drones.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, they haven't introduced this into a new character into a while because we skipped, you know, the majority of this game.
Here to sell cookies.
These guys have torque bows, incredibly scary weapons. Okay, we're dead. I knew that I was dead as soon as that I missed that shot. So PB is pretty much out of the question in this run, but I'm not too ashamed at my commentary. At least that I'm gonna die here, I may as well die early on. Gotta listen to all this dialogue again.
I don't.
If I missed the first 2 shots there, we're dead. If you miss those first 2 shots, there's no recovery. We legitimately have no recovery unless the enemies decide to not sandwich you there.
There it is.
Okay, here's a plan. Dom, we're going straight in.
You actually can't go down that way, interestingly enough. There's just a giant
Provide support.
um
Above all, protect
wall, and it's also slower to go around there.
Got it? Got it. You got it.
You hear that? What the hell's that sound?
It's just the wind.
Just a wind.
Yeah, right. When's the last time the wind said hostiles to you?
Yeah, I know. We're losing a lot of time on this act.
Those aren't drones.
Oh, shit. Looks like they upgraded.
Still not going to be a terrible run. Oh. Okay. That's how much damage a torque bow does, for those wondering. Okay, good. We got both of these guys there to spawn now. That means there's going to be one less enemy to deal with a little bit later on up ahead. Wow. Wow, that's unfortunate. Wow. Okay, that was incredibly unfortunate. This is one of the hardest fights because there are two setups in this fight, and that was the good setup. We got everything going right. We just got really unlucky. I have never been rushed by that Lancer guy ever. Trust me, never, not once.
Okay, here's a plan. Dom,
Absolutely have not been rushed by that guy. PB's pretty much dead.
you two
That's
flank
point,
right.
because we lose 2 minutes every time we die here. But you know, for the sake of the no reset, we'll just keep going. I'm sick of resetting every single run, and I need to get better at the later stages of this game anyway, so
You hear that? What the hell's that sound?
It's just the wind.
it's just the wind.
Yeah, right. When's the last time the wind said hostiles to you?
So yeah, back onto the Therons. Quality enemies.
Oh, shit. Looks like they upgraded. They're on guard.
You think they know what we're doing?
Well, we're not here to sell cookies. I know something's up. Let's clear that stage.
Where do we got this fight pattern again? Okay. Didn't even realize that I ran completely out of ammo then. Head on. Almost like right behind me. Is that bed over there? Interesting. My AI's warped onto the refinery. Quite rare that they do that, but they do come onto this. Okay, cool. There are drones here too. Need to be a little bit careful then when you start mixing in both Therons and drones is when fights get a little bit harder. We get onto this side of the fight, that dialogue will play. Nice shot. We actually have to play similar to that of a pro versus these guys because it's terrifying. So this is kind of how pros play. They do backwards and forwards walks and then shotgun combos.
We did it. Nice job.
Need this ammo.
Time to go home.
I have like no shotgun ammo now.
Get that
There we go. Did that fight. So once I get up to that latter half of the fight, it becomes significantly easier, but that's the second setup that we have to do. Thankfully, going around that way actually makes it a little bit more consistent. I have to go over here and press this button. It lost, like I said, a couple minutes there. Just because we died a couple times, and we also got a bit of unfortunate RNG. But that's just Gears of War in general. Couple of unfortunate deaths right there. The first one was probably avoidable. The second one was absolutely unavoidable unless I hit a shot onto him and killed him instantly, which is really hard to do versus Therons because they just have so much more HP. And they have so many ways to one-shot you because they do carry Lancer shotguns and torque bows and bolt-hock pistols as well, I believe, and they can also throw grenades. So they are terrifying enemies. They are very, very versatile. Makes this a lot harder than what it is. Also, shoutouts to the world's worst cutscene in this act. I absolutely hate it, and I skip it every time, no matter that I'm trying to run this game normally. They did fix it a little bit in Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
We need to secure this courtyard. Move out.
So I've actually changed the way that I fight this fight. Strategically. I'll be a little bit careful. There are enemies with torque bows here still. Now that we've introduced them, they're going to be everywhere. Most of the torpo enemies are coming out, so we will use that gun later that guy was using, the sniper. I'm gonna go back and clean out these guys. Wow, Bed's icon was in like the worst spot there. I should grab him. I'm actually doing this fight the exact opposite way to what I normally used to do the fight. I do just find it a little bit safer. Except we end on this boomer here. Gonna be a second boomer that's gonna spawn in here. Use our boom shot to deal with these guys. I notice you guys don't like your nice whiff. You actually hit bad. Wow. Okay, cool. The pistols are incredibly deadly, that's why we're kind of carrying around the snub pistol. I never mentioned that too much. Cool, so we get a chance there to grab ammo, and once again we get another choice option. We take the left path. Because left path is best path. I don't think you actually skip this cutscene at all. Yeah, it's unskippable. There's a little bit of a cutscene there that's unskippable. It's because the game tries to load in during those unskippable cutscenes. This guy's actually behind here. Actually needs to die, I feel. He's got a torque bow and he can actually follow you. I'm not kidding, he will follow you if he wants to. Sniper there, we're not going to grab it. He's a sniper soon though. I promise. We're an act away from doing it. Now that I'm in the zone here, we should be alright. So Flebby told me about that strat a while back, and it makes this section a little bit easier.
Marcus, we've got a problem at Triple C. Door secured from above.
Saves a little bit of time. Something that I didn't do in any other run. Still a Theron alive, you can hear it in the back. I love the sounds Therons make. Absolutely legendary. Hammer of Dawn's offline again. Because, you know, we're not allowed to use OP weapons. Man, it's totally not why we use a shotgun every fight, it absolutely isn't OP. Not overpowered. Guy's a little bit too close for my liking. Didn't have to kill him, but he needed to be killed. Well, where's this other guy out there? Both of those guys do in fact need to die. Run off to the side here and shoot this. Hello? How did that shot miss? Wow. Okay, good thing we got both of them with that second shot.
You know it.
I can't believe that shot whiffed both of them. Shoutouts to Gunspread. There you go. Worst cutscene in the game, but we're gonna skip it. Thank God we can skip that one. That one's really bad. There's a guy coughing up blood. That's why I don't like it. It actually the very first time I saw it, I almost threw up because I'm like, holy.
Control, this is
Thankfully, we can skip it. So.
Delta 2 is caring for wounded and flagging for pickup. Is the conservatory clear?
As far as I can tell, Delta 1.
So, in case you haven't wondered, yeah, we haven't encountered Emergent Souls or Berserkers in a while, so let's bring those back into the game. But before we do, there's a Hammer of Dawn there that we're actually going to grab. It's a useful Hammer of Dawn. We're going to lose our Boom Shot here. The only time in the game that we give it up towards the end. You start to realize we rely less and less on the Boom Shot as this game goes on and proceeds later on. Just because it is completely ineffective versus Theron guards for the majority.
Yeah, I know what that means. Take cover.
It's gonna spawn like right here where I'm looking. I wanted to get in cover here.
Control, those satellites are ready. Well, then okay.
Alright, cool. There you go.
Got it.
Got it. Shut Jack. So yeah, you can grab that for free, and then Jack will open up that door as soon as you get the grab that.
Situation's FUBAR here. Hostiles everywhere. We're getting the hell out.
So I've done a couple things that I've never done before in this run before, but you know, that's just Gears of War in a nutshell. That's just speedrunning in a nutshell. Trying something new.
Prison, they give
That wasn't much where I was going. I might do my collectible one. So yeah, of course, the reason that I grabbed the Hammer of Dawn is because we've got to deal with one of these bad boys again.
Try to get around her quietly.
So she should, in theory, run to there, and then we can hit her with a Hammer Strike immediately. She has to open up the doors for us. This is the mechanic on this one. She opens up the first one for you for free. There you go, we're done. So she pretty much kills herself by destroying the pillars. Basically her strategy. Also, yeah, shoutouts to the architecture in this game. It actually is a beautiful looking game, particularly on the remastered version. This game just looks absolutely outstanding. Nice movement. Look at this. Look at that. Never seen that before. Pretty much no chance of PP, so not stressing too much about things like that, but still pretty funny. Alright, cool. Plug her up. And that's the last time we'll be using the Hammer of Dawn in this game. I'm pretty sure it will be. Yeah, it will be.
Hammer of Dawn is offline.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run forward here to spawn this guy's enemies in. So we're gonna need to deal with them. Oh, that was close. Kill these guys and use the Lancer again because we haven't used that in a long time. And why use it when you got the nice double kill? And these guys have near next to no HP. Great for us. Can do a little bit of spawn killing. 2 on each side, so. And this guy's gonna spawn in. I like to call this. Terrifying. So what I like to call him terrifying. I can kill you with those. Yeah, he can stay alive, by the way. We're gonna be using the oh, you're like gonna kill me, aren't you? Nope, we're good. So yeah, they can tank an entire Lancer flip. I'm gonna grab his gun just for the ammo later on. I kind of want his ammo for later on, so I'm gonna grab it. I forgot which way I'm meant to go here. A little bit of a semi-maze going on here. They made up. I don't really know why they did, but they clearly improved on their mazes later on because there's a maze where you literally run in a straight line to get through it. Yes, true. Okay, good. We have one of those guys run directly at us. Okay, no, we're both of them are now. It's true. There are ones here that need to die for the case of me getting a checkpoint and also opening up a section a little bit later on. Why not? Chungunga. Oh, I went over here.
Good to go.
I needed his ammo. Even though I do get ammo up ahead, I wasn't feeling comfortable without having a full clip to kill these next 3 enemies. One. Two. Oh look, we would have done it anyway, but I still didn't feel comfortable. There are safety strats that you can do for nearly every fight in this game. We take this fight a little bit more casually. Say what you would expect of speedrunners. Because, why not? These guys are still terrifying, by the way.
I'll take those.
I may as well grab the extra grenade. I don't have to grab grenades later. There's one at your feet, why not? Still got an angle on me. Uh oh. Thank God that I got the checkpoint for that fight. I realized it a little bit too late. I'm like, oh, this guy's still got an angle on me. I'm like, I know where he is. Oh. There's a guy under there. He's meant to stay on the turret. That's what I want him to do. What? What? Okay. Having fun with explosions there. Featuring Marcus Phoenix. We're just having a bit of fun now. That's all this run is. If you're not having fun playing games, why are you playing the game that you're playing if it's not fun? Surely there's something else that you can play that you enjoy more. Alright. No matter how many times I play through it, I still enjoy this, and that's the whole... That's the whole point of gaming. You enjoy what you do. Nice aim. This guy cannot kill you. I spoke too soon. I've never had him kill me. Holy monk ass. Okay, cool. Whatever. We can get more ammo now. And that's a bonus. We can grab that ammo. Alright, I got the shotgun. These guys. Actually never had him kill me. I didn't think that... I thought that I'd have enough HP regen in order to survive. Normally what ends up happening. Get rid of that guy. That's just an execution technique. It's a slow one, but I like doing it because you can't PB at this point, so... Just having a bit of fun now with the game. There we go. Cool. There's always next act that I can gold split, so I'll try seriously when I get up to that act. I guess I've also got to concentrate for this next part because it's actually terrifying. Oh nice, Tom's not going to shoot at us. So we called that guy Tom. I think Swing Flip did. He came up with the name Tom.
We're coming up on the house.
The reason we call him Tom is because there's another Theron guard in Gears of War 2 that was also called Tom. We call them both Tom because they can't kill you. Well, you know, that's his first ever time killing Marcus, so he's got to feel good about it. Love this cutscene. Unskippable, but I love it. Stick them.
Here they come.
Okay. What? So, whilst I'm doing this, I'm invulnerable to damage for the majority. I'm invulnerable to getting stuck. Oh, he just damaged himself. This is the main reason that I got this. Hey, look at that. Beautiful. 5 ammo is always good. I'm gonna grab this ammo just for safety. Quality movement. Trying to get through that. You don't actually have to kill that guy, but I wanted the ammo though. I'm a little bit cautious on ammo right now for this particular part because when I start not caring for this section, I start making mistakes and more mistakes and more mistakes like I did before. And as long as I got enough ammo, I should be able to save those mistakes in one of the fights later on. But I need full ammo. I'm still a little bit away from it, but I need full pistol ammo for it.
Got him.
Upstairs is clear.
Baird, what's the
I did this
status
the
on
way
APC?
Libby does it.
Says that it sucks. Clutch plate is cracked. I'm gonna have to take out the flywheel. Hey, Baird. And pull the drive shaft for sure. Just fix it. Right. Roger that. I can do that.
They're coming out of that hole.
Plug it up.
Did you feel that?
It's gotta be another hole.
So yeah. Apparently Flibby thinks that rat does faster, so I'm gonna do it. I just whiffed that shot. Wow, he came behind me and killed me. Cool. We gotta do this fight all over again. Wonderful, fantastic. I'm gonna plug up this emergence hole first this time. Yeah, it definitely spawns in faster. You plug that up first.
Plug it up.
Actually gonna do this the other way. Hopefully this spawns in all the enemies. I was hoping that by walking on that side there, it'll spawn in all the enemies, but you need to go around like that. I don't know why. It's kind of hiding from that enemy there because I was so low on HP.
Baird, what's the status on that APC?
These fights in this house are terrifying because there's so much room that the enemies have to move and there's so little that you have to move. You need to kill them quickly, and there's also Theron guards added into this stage of the game, so I struggle a lot on this act. I don't think I've ever had a Deathless Act 4. This is the act where a lot of people will die on.
Did you feel that?
It's gotta be another hole.
You guys kind of get a good idea. Marcus is going to say screw you a few times in this. Whiff again. Oh my god. We whiffed twice. I hate this game. I'm just going to kill all these enemies. Come on. Finish. Like I said. He'll say that anytime that an enemy jump scares him. Oh, we're actually negative on our ammo. That's great. We have, like, not enough ammo now, because I wasted it all. Awesome. Boomshot ammo is the one that I'm talking about. We're gonna have to hope that the boomer gets inside later on, so we can grab his ammo. If he dies outside, you cannot grab his ammo. He should be able to get inside. You died. I like this. Quiet. Hey, it's all clear up here. We're actually gonna be using shotguns on shotguns.
There's nothing we can do about it. Keep
Or,
APC's online. Copy that.
grenades a little bit later on.
Jack, rip that door.
So we do need that ammo. Hopefully we get lots and lots of the enemies here, because there's a lot of enemies to deal with. If you don't get lots, you're kind of screwed. So I'm intentionally doing a line setup here, so you can see the line that I'm looking for. And I've got it first time here, so this is good. I've got to get this grenade toss at the right moment as well. For 1 second there, you just saw it drop off. Okay, seems like we got it. Yeah, I don't think there's too many enemies left now. Got that guy's helmet off. I really shouldn't be using that gun too much here. That should be it. Nice, good job.
Marcus, it's open.
That has the Dom killing that last enemy there. Actually useful Dom hoggers. Nice, got both of those. We got the melee off, but we also got stunned on it at the same time. Cool.
Right behind you. The locusts are in the courtyard.
Nice, we got that ammo back here. I should have grabbed the grenades. Is there backup grenades? No. There is, but no. I have 2 backup sets actually that I can use. See, like, if you miss too many boom shots, you just end up having real issues. There we go. There's Marcus saying it again. Said it. Come on, bro.
Front of the house, second story. Hurry up!
I'm doing this run intentionally for you, for practice and also just to improve, because right now I'm a little bit rusty on this 4th act. Will not lie. There we go, there's the grenades that I need. Hopefully Dom's doing stuff, he's not. Quality Dom. Classic. We want to kill as many of these guys as possible. Okay, we whiffed 1 on 1. This time I actually have proper ammo. In my Paxos run, I ran out of ammo for this particular fight. Need to come here. Never knew that there was ammo back there, but now I do. Cool. Completely out of our way and completely irrelevant. There's a boomer here, but I don't know exactly where he is. There's also a Theron's still alive, I believe. It's right here. Hello, boomer. You're inside now. Nice, he's got the Theron stuck behind him. I needed that armor badly. Where are you? One of the problems about oh yeah, I can't see you either. There you are. Okay. Well, there's 2 of them. Oh, please. Okay. Holy monka S. There you go, Mark. Said it a few times. I I did promise it I'd say it a few times. I want the ammo though. Oh. How to use this anyway. Like I said, I'm keeping close eye on my ammo, so this, you might see me have to do this a few times, because there's a part coming up that's quite risky. Dom should hopefully be able to kill that guy. I have to open the door from the top side there in order to get access to this bottom story. Now this is like one of the worst places where they didn't add in a checkpoint, which is right here. One of the biggest oversights in this entire video game. So not adding a checkpoint here. You're about to see why. These guys can't one-shot us. I don't think I've been one-shot yet by a boomer this entire run. They can. Oh, here we go. Happening. Oh, we're gonna get through. Wow. Oh, split, right. So it's pretty much impossible now for us to get a PB, but you know, we can get a gold split here and it'll make me happy. Not a terrible run, not by any means, just a couple deaths here and there. Happens in this run, welcome to Gears of War speedrunning. That's the main reason why I needed all that ammo before. I need those guys' weapons as well, so hopefully they don't despawn. I needed the guy's weapon for this particular fight too, the ammo, the boom shot. Oh, there's still one of these alive, huh? You're gonna see me use through all this ammo. Cool, good. And whilst we wait for the sniper to spawn in really quickly, I'm gonna grab this, Oh no, we don't want that. Far from that. And grab this. Sniper takes a little while to spawn in. And so does this train, so... So yeah, I'm the only runner in this game that uses sniper strats for this fight, so get excited.
Damn it, we suck. We'll catch you right on Raven. Sorry,
So Trainwreck is the second last chapter in this game. So we're almost done.
The bomb is at the front of the train.
And the reason that I set 205 is because I really doubt I'm gonna be lower than 205 with my current like new things that we found and things like that. I extremely doubt that. I think 205 is a relatively good estimate. Getting sub 2 is pretty consistent, but you can just slightly go over that if you get 4 RNG in this run, so. Like I said, I don't know why I use sniper strats. This is why you see me use sniper strats. I am extremely good at this gun. Just wait for them to stop moving though. I need to turn my sensitivity up clearly. I didn't realize that there's still a Theron behind me, but okay.
We've got Nemesis on the radar.
That's not good.
Okay.
Damn it. Jack, open this door.
Okay. That's the hard part done. We're still going to be using the sniper up again for a little bit. I like the sniper a little bit more than the shotty. I like just the consistency of it.
Anya, we're using the hammer of
The only problem is it has such a low ammo count.
Not with all those Nemesis things.
And if you start missing shots with it, you're basically doomed. Because obviously you have a little bit more leeway. Bye. I just shot a explosive tank right there.
Piece of shit. Contact.
We're green. Look at that, we're green. See, our splits aren't red, we're green.
Doors open, Marcus. Move.
We're all green. So good.
Phoenix, Hoffman's picked us up.
There's like cog tags like right there as soon as you roll into this.
Here they come.
Like the all collectibles runs. You have to grab. 3 enemies go to kill. None of them are a real threat with me with the sniper. There we go. Why not? The amount of details on some of these enemies is pretty crazy. As you can see, that's the last time you'll see us use a sniper, unfortunately. And I did not miss a shot. And yes, it did look good, and yes, it was incredibly quick.
Watch our back.
Only runner that is capable of hitting every single shot with a sniper on enemies, because I've just practiced. I practiced and I practiced till I got good enough to add sniper strats into this run. So because of the no gore settings, these enemies look hilarious as they die. Look at them. They're just sitting in the air before they die. They're meant to just disappear, but they don't disappear because of the no gore settings. It's absolutely hilarious. There you go, they're still sitting in the air. It's the only time we ever fight Reavers, and damn, they sound awesome when they die. And also this OST, this particular soundtrack is the best in the original Gears. One more. No overheat mechanic in this game like in the latter games.
Doesn't matter. We need to get to that bomb.
I'm gonna grab that anyway. Gotta wait for the game here. I would have liked to have got a PB, but we're not too far off the pace, honestly. Pretty good. Gotta be careful. These guys' explosions when you're that low will just insta-give you. This is not good. This is my favorite place to be. The 29th cog tag is in this room. Interestingly enough, for those all collectible runs, not really that different from any percent. So I still get my own run variation on it. Anyways, I might actually get a WR. Shoutouts to Marcus's hand here. There is no gun. The gun is a lie. Shotgun's actually like sitting underneath Marcus's hand because you're looking up directly. The only time in the game where we have to look up to kill enemies directly. There's 5 enemies in each, and then there's 1 extra double. There's 6 enemies on this second one that we have to deal with, so that's 2. Oh, 3. Good job, Dom. Shoutouts to Dom. 4. 5. And 6. Oh, look at the ammo count. Sweet. Still there. Completely glitched out. Gotta wait for Dom to get over this side, so soon as we can start pressing this button.
GPS shows that you've picked up speed. You don't have much.
Unfortunately, yeah, we can't
Let's go. We're almost
get a PB here. But we can still probably beat Brassmaster. Would be a meme and a half.
Let's do
Bit of a meme for me, beating Brassmaster, because I constantly do it. I never get any bit faster. So yeah, this has actually been a pretty good run overall. Now this fight's changed since my Paxos run when we figured this out. Shoutouts to Flurby, who lost the initial world record that he had off Dazzles on this fight. Shoutouts to all the casual players out there because they just love this fight so much. The only boss fight in Gears of War that actually takes skill. Oh, he just whiffed the shot. Okay, cool. He let go of his drill anyway. Oh, nice. We missed the second shot, and then we fail reloaded. Cool. And time. Nice gold split. My summer best segments is exactly Dazzle's time. Wow. That is awesome. So that's Gears of War 1, any percent. It's a little bit off the pace, but it's still a pretty good run. Anything, honestly, around near there is still pretty good. My summer best actually hit Dazzle's time, which I believe was a 1:44.55. I believe it's a 1:44.55, which was the original world record before we actually got hands on this game. Oh, that's a 1:44.20. It's close. It's in the 1:44s though. Summer best finally in that sub 1:45 mark, which is nice to see. So yeah, this cutscene's quite quiet, but you know, for the sake of explaining, too many deaths in that third act, which is why we lost a lot of time. Third and fourth act were, third and fourth act were just really bad. PB is pretty free for me. The start didn't go great either. Like there was a death pretty much in every act except the last one. That's a 10-minute. Oh, that was a 10-minute, 26-second last act. Pretty good. It's a significantly better segment. Yay, we live. We live to fight another day. So I'm pretty happy with this run overall. It didn't go too badly, and if that was, you know, no resets, that was a pretty good no reset. Shoutouts to the one Locust that just doesn't care that bombs are dropping in around it. Is still just sitting there turning that wheel. I don't know, I guess shoutouts to just everyone who runs this game now. Flurby, Sylvanas, Swing Flip. I'll go through all the runners really quickly. There's all the new runners in particular. So Flurby, myself, Brassmaster. Hasn't run in a while, but he still hangs out with the community a lot. Smart Alec, who recently picked this game up. Super awesome guy. Is the 5th person, possibly, I reckon. He was 49 seconds off. There you go, 49 seconds off from getting sub 2, so I count that as sub 2. Next run's going to be a sub 2. So awesome to see Smart Aleck get back involved. Shout out to Xenix, who hasn't been around in a little while. Spain. Jarvis, who also hasn't been around in a while, but was one of the guys who originally had a lot of the base routing for these games. So I guess really big shout outs to Jarvis. And then obviously, yeah, Sylvanas, RP Godfather as well coming in there. Only ran 4 months ago, only had a kind of fun run. First ever run, I think, and he got a sub-3, which is still pretty good. This game's incredibly difficult. There's a couple new guys that have picked up Insane, the Gears of War 2 category. That's exciting. And yeah, and also shoutouts to Hell Knight, who runs Gears of War 2. So there we go, that's Gears of War. I kind of like to do a bit of shoutouts at the end of each run that I'm going to upload onto YouTube, just for the sake of the community. I just absolutely love everyone in it. They do a great job. Our Discord's great. Everyone's great in it. There's Rod Ferguson. He's now the head of the coalition. And Cliffy B. Everyone loves Cliffy B. Anyways, that's Gears of War 1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the run, and hopefully we can get it at GDQ. Because that would be super great. Super great. Trying to figure out a word there to say. Super